So, in the previous classes, we have learned about definitions of autotropic, heterotropic, photosynthesis, and a detailed notes about photosynthesis, that is definition, mechanism, and the balanced chemical equation. And in the next classes, we have learned the experimental activities related to the photosynthesis, like detection of presence of starch in leaves, necessity of air for photosynthesis, necessity of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, necessity of light for photosynthesis, necessity of oxygen for photosynthesis. Okay, this may be the lab activities. The questions may be come in the long answers. Okay. And the other topic, chlorophyll. We have in the Saturday's class we have learnt about the chlorophyll. Where does the chlorophyll present? And what is the function of chlorophyll? Okay. What are the thylakoid membranes it consists of? Okay. And where does the photosynthesis takes place? So already we have discussed in the class 6. That is on Saturday's class. So today we are going to learn how the nutrition takes place in human beings. Okay. So let us have a look on the animated video regarding the nutrition in human beings. So be concentrate. While I am saying to write the notes, please open your workbooks and write down mark. In today's class, there are some definitions. Everyone should write down. See, digestive system of human beings consists of alimentary canal. It means in today's topic, we are going to study each part and each function of the alimentary canal body parts. Okay, what are the parts involved in the alimentary canal? That is the digestive system. We are going to study the functions, the specialized functions of all the body parts involved in the alimentary canal. So let us start our class. Digestive system of human beings consists of alimentary canal. So let us see what are the parts involved in the alimentary canal. Mainly, the alimentary canal starts from the mouth and ends in anus and digestive enzymes. So students, in today's topic, that is the digestive system, the alimentary canal starts from the mouth. The process starts from the mouth and ends in anus and digestive systems. So do you know what are the parts involved in alimentary canal? Can anyone answer me? So we have already studied in 9 classes what are the parts involved in our digestive system, that is from starting of the mouth to the end of the anus. Can anyone answer?
Mouth, salivary gland.
No, just type it, man. Don't say, just type it. Let us know what are the parts involved in the alimentary canal. So let us see the parts involved in the alimentary canal. So you can watch the display carefully. The first part, as I said, it starts from the mouth and ends in the anus. So the remaining parts which were involved in between the mouth and anus, let us see. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Okay, these are the body parts that were involved in the digestive system in human beings. Okay, mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. So now let us see what are the functions of these specialized body parts. So we can today study each function of each body part. So coming to small intestine, you can see here the picture small intestine. Small intestine consists of duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Please mute your calls, ma. We won't repeat again and again. See, this is a small intestine. So let us see what are the parts it consists of. The small intestine consists of 3 parts. What are they? You can see in the picture, you can read here. Duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So these are the 3 parts that were present in the small intestine. Okay. So let us see what are the parts that were present in large intestine. In large intestine, it consists of ileum, colon, and rectum. Okay?
Okay.
Large intestine consists of ileum, colon, and rectum. So next, the associated digestive glands of alimentary canal. See, as we said, that alimentary canal starts from the mouth and ends into the anus and the digestive system, digestive enzymes. So let us see what are the glands of alimentary canal. They are salivary glands that were present in the mouth, liver, and pancreas. Okay, these are the glands of alimentary canal. What are the 3 glands of alimentary canal? Salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. Okay. So the different parts of digestive system are specialized to different functions such as turning of food into energy and disposal of metabolic waste. You can see in the picture. Different parts of the body of our digestive system are having different specialized functions. Okay. So let us see the functions what it has. Like turning of food into energy. As we see in the definition of nutrition, we obtain the energy. Where do we obtain from energy? We obtain the energy, the food that we intake. After the food entering into our body, after the digestion of the food in the particular body parts of the body, the food turns into the large food particles, turns into small food particles. So after the formation of small food particles, the energy is released. Okay, this is one type of specialized function of our body. Means turning of food into energy. You can see the picture in. Please mute your call, ma. Okay. You can see these 2 pictures. The food that we intake after digestion, the energy is released. These energies used in our day-to-day life to do our daily activities like breathing, working, standing, sitting, and walking, etc. Okay, this is one type of the function. And another function is disposal of metabolic waste. So the food which was digested and metabolized is disposed through the anus. So this is one type of the function. The mode of intake of food, you can see here. Please write down this definition, ma. What is the definition of ingestion? Open your workbooks, write down the definition. So write down the definition. So write down the definition, ma. What is meant by ingestion? I-N-G-E-S-T-I-O-N. Okay. So let me explain. Write down the mode of intake of food through the mouth of body is known as ingestion. You can see the video here. It is meant by ingestion. The mode of intake of food through the mouth. You can see a video. The mode of intake of food through the mouth of body is known as ingestion. Okay. We the human beings take the food from the mouth. Okay. Where the 30% of digestion takes place in the mouth itself. Okay. This is the definition of ingestion. And now write the definition of mastication. Write the definition of mastication. Ingestion is followed by mechanical digestion. Ingestion is followed by the mechanical digestion of food, which means physical breakdown of large pieces of food into smaller ones. It is also known as mastication of food. So this is the meaning of mastication of food, ma. What is meant by mastication? Means the food that we see, the class will become noisy. Please mute your calls. So ingestion is followed by mechanical digestion of food, which means physical breakdown of large pieces of food into smaller ones. You can see here. After ingestion means the food that we intake through the mouth. After the food that we intake through the mouth, it is followed by mechanical. You can see with the help of teeth, the food is break down into large pieces of food into small pieces. It is nothing but mastication of food. Okay, mastication of food occurs by the help of teeth. You can see here. Mastication of food occurs with the help of teeth present in the mouth. During this time, saliva is secreted. During this time, while the mastication of food, the process is going on in the mouth, the salivary glands secrete the saliva. So with this saliva, the food in our mouth gets moistens, means gets wet. Wets the food and makes the food soft enough and forms bolus. So this is the starting of the process is ingestion. Ingestion is nothing but the food that we intake through our mouth is nothing but ingestion. After ingestion, the mastication of food process takes place. What is meant by mastication means the breakdown of large food particles into smaller food particles with the help of teeth present in our mouth. So during this process, saliva is secreted by salivary glands. So this saliva, which was secreted from salivary glands, makes the food wet. So by doing the food wet, the food enters into the other body part easily and forms a bolus. Okay, this is the definitions of ingestion and mastication. The digestion of complex molecules of food of starch into simpler ones become possible by an action called an enzyme called amylase present in the saliva. Okay, with the help of amylase present in the saliva, the digestion of complex molecules of food of starch into simpler ones become possible. So you may have the doubt how the food becomes larger particles into converted into smaller particles means the saliva is secreted from the salivary glands. Okay, with that it is makes the possible of larger food molecules into the smaller food molecules by an action of an enzyme called amylase. So there is an enzyme known as amylase present in the saliva that makes the food to make possible break down the large molecules into the smaller ones. Okay. So students, mostly the 30% of food, that is initial start digestion, takes place in mouth. You can see the amylase breaks the saliva in which amylase is present. Amylase is nothing but an enzyme. Saliva is nothing but it is secreted from the salivary glands. So this enzyme amylase makes the food that we intake through the mouth, starts the digestion in mouth itself an account of 30%. So it means 30% of its initial digestion takes place in mouth. Okay. So amylase break down starch. You can see the digestion of carbohydrate in food. How the digestion takes place means amylase break down starch into carbohydrates into simpler sugar molecules such as maltose and dextrose. It means that starch is digested with the help of an enzyme, amylase. Amylase breaks down the starch into two molecules. What are they? Maltose and dextrose. See, amylase in an enzyme breaking down the starch into the two molecules. What are they? Maltose and dextrose. Okay. The saliva also contains another enzyme called lipase. It acts on the fat. So the saliva contains amylase which helps in the digestion of food in the mouth. It converts the starch into the two molecules. They are maltose and dextrose. So along with amylase and another enzyme that is present in the saliva is known as lipase. So what is the function of this lipase means? This lipase acts on the fat. Means the lipase acts on the fat digestion. Okay. Saliva secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands. So the saliva is secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands present at the site of the jaw and below of the tongue. Okay. The salivary glands consist of 3 pairs. They are present in the site of the jaw, means in the mouth, the side of the jaw, and below the tongue. So these are the three salivary glands present in our mouth. So can anyone say what are these three salivary glands? Can anyone name these salivary glands? Can anyone answer? Neha, can you answer? What are the three salivary glands present in our mouth? Open your test book, page number 14. See the heading, side heading, passage of food through alimentary canal or gut. In that first para, you can see there are three pairs of salivary glands. The first pair is located at the site of the jaw, called as submandibular. The first salivary gland pair is present at the side of the jaw and named as submandibular. What is the name? Submandibular. And the second pair is located below the tongue. The second pair is located. Please mute your call. The second pair is located below the tongue, called as submaxillary. Submaxillary. And the third pair is located at the side of the ear. And what is the third pair name? Parotoid glands. So there are three salivary glands. Okay. The first salivary gland is present at the side of the jaw called as submandibular, and the second pair is located below the tongue called as submaxillary, and the third pair is located at the side of the ear called as parotoid glands. Okay. Secretion of saliva makes the food slippery. You can see the picture here, how the food is getting transported to the next part of our body. You can see. This is the formation of bolus in the mouth. So with the secretion of saliva, the food it makes slippery, which helps in the easy passage. You can see how the food is passing to the other body parts. The tongue. So what here? It makes the food to slippery into other body parts means the tongue. The tongue in the mouth. The tongue helps to stimulate the salivary glands to secrete saliva. So the function of the tongue is to mix food with saliva properly. So students, firstly the food is become bolus in the mouth by converting the large food molecules into the smaller food particles. So the salivary glands secrete the saliva. Okay. There are three pairs of salivary glands which makes the food wet and makes the food to pass into the other body parts. And there is another body part in our mouth, that is tongue, which helps to stimulate the salivary glands to secrete saliva. So do you know the function? What is the function of tongue in the mouth? The function of the tongue is to mix food. What? The tongue helps to mix the food with the saliva properly and helps to chewing process. And it helps to push the food into the esophagus. So see the video carefully. After the food masticated in the mouth, it enters into the part esophagus with the help of tongue, which makes the food and helps to chewing process. So the lower jaw also helps in the same process as a whole. Okay. this lower jaw, you can see in the video. The lower jaw in our mouth also helps in the same manner. So the saliva mixed food becomes soft food in mouth, which is also called as bolus, passes into the stomach through a series of muscular contractions. You can see here, these are the muscular contractions of the wall of esophagus called as peristalsis. So, the food which was formed into bolus after breaking down of large food particles into the smaller particles enters into the esophagus. So you may have a doubt how the bolus enters into the esophagus. Means it enters into the esophagus through a series of muscular contractions. So these muscular contractions of the wall of esophagus is nothing but peristalsis movement. In the video you can see how the peristalsis movement, the front and back movement. See, the food is passing into the esophagus. See, you can see here. By the peristalsis movement, it enters into the esophagus. And from esophagus, it enters into the stomach. Okay. The semi-solid food reaches the stomach, comes in contact with the gastric juice, which is secreted by cells, inner linings of stomach. So, firstly, the food enters into the mouth, that is ingestion, next mastication, and from there it enters into the esophagus by the series of muscular contractions, nothing but the peristalsis movement. From esophagus, it enters into the stomach, and in stomach, it contains the gastric juice. Okay. So this gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid and the powerful enzymes called pepsin. It means the food from esophagus enters into the stomach. So in stomach, what are the gases or what are the acids we have? In our stomach, we have the powerful enzymes as well as acids. You can see your picture. This is a picturization of the stomach. These are the food particles that enter from the esophagus into the stomach. So in stomach, it contains gastric juice. These gastric juice contains the powerful enzymes called pepsin and also hydrochloric acid. So do you know what is the... Please mute your call. So you can see the picturization of the stomach and here the food particles which are break down into small ones, and in stomach it contains the gastric juice. So again gastric juice contains the powerful enzymes as well as the hydrochloric acid. So what is the function of this gastric juice? Means they are responsible for breakdown of protein present in the food. So what is the function of the gastric juice? Means they are responsible for breakdown of protein present in the stomach. So here in stomach, proteins get digested which were present in the food with the help of gastric juice. Okay. Then the strong acid produced by the stomach have the capacity to damage the wall of the stomach. So students, sometimes this gastric juice may damage the linings of stomach. Okay. The strong acid produced by the stomach have the capacity to damage the wall of stomach. So the mucus is secreted by stomach for its protection. In order not to get damage from this gastric juice, the mucus is secreted by stomach for its protection. It means mucus is secreted in the stomach for the protection of from the damage from gastric juice. Okay. These gastric juices are responsible for the breakdown of proteins which are present in the food. Sometimes this gastric juice may damage the stomach. So that's why the stomach secretes the mucus, which helps in the protection from the gastric juice. Okay. Mucus forms a layer. Mucus forms a layer on the inner side of the stomach. You can see inner linings. You can see the lines here. Inner lining of the stomach. Gastric juice contain the powerful enzymes like pepsin as well as hydrochloric acid. Okay. The proteins in the green molecules, it is nothing but proteins are getting digested that were present in the food. And then you can see this layer. That layer is nothing but mucus that is secreted in the stomach. So this mucus helps the stomach for its protection from the damage of gastric juice. Next. The same as like in the esophagus, the stomach also consists of peristaltic movement. So what is the need of this peristalsis movement? You can see the video carefully. You can see the peristaltic movement. So what is the role of peristalsis movement in stomach means? For mechanical churning of food means peristaltic movements also occurs in the walls of stomach, which aids in means which helps in mechanical churning of food and digestion of proteins means digestion of the food as well as the proteins. Okay. So in our alimentary canal, the peristaltic movement contains in two body parts where during the passage of food from esophagus to the stomach through the peristaltic movement, that is for the passage and slippery of the food, and coming into the stomach, here also we can see the peristaltic movement, but here it aids in mechanical churning of food and digestion of proteins. Okay. The food moves into the pyloric part of the stomach and later the food from the stomach is moved to the pyloric part of the stomach where it comes in contact with digestive enzymes called as gastrin. So you can see this gastrin. Gastrin is nothing but it is a digestive enzyme present in the pyloric part of the stomach. The food moves, see how the food is moving. The food moves into the pyloric part of the stomach where it comes in contact with digestive enzymes called gastrin. You can see the pyloric part of the stomach. This is the region where the pyloric part of the stomach and mix the food into semi-solid form called as chyme. In stomach, you can see the pyloric part. Pyloric part comes in contact with the digestive enzymes called as gastrin, and from there it makes food into semi-solid. The semi-solid form of food is nothing but chyme. What is meant by chyme? C-H-Y-M-E. The chyme is nothing but the semi-solid form of food is nothing but chyme. The semi-solid form of food is nothing but chyme. So the chyme then passes into the small intestine. See, this chyme, this is the chyme, nothing but semi-solid food. You can see how it is passing through the pyloric sphincter. So again it is passing into the small intestine. The chyme present in the stomach passes into the small intestine through the pyloric sphincter. So what is meant by pyloric sphincter, ma? In stomach, it consists of pyloric sphincter. What is the role of pyloric sphincter? The food, which is in the semi-solid form called as chyme, is passed into the small intestine through pyloric sphincter. So let me explain what is meant by pyloric sphincter. This is the site. Pyloric sphincter is a site which allows to open and pass only small amount of food material into small intestine at a time. It is nothing but it is a site, it is a region which helps the semi-solid food to pass into the small intestine. So the region from where small intestine to the, from stomach to the small intestine food is passing or transforming is nothing but the region is known as pyloric sphincter. Okay. So let us see how the food passed into the small intestine. See, you can see here small intestine in the video. Small intestine is the largest, longest part of the alimentary canal. Note on this point, small intestine is the longest part of alimentary canal where the complete digestion of food occurs. Note on this important point, ma. Small intestine is the longest part of alimentary canal. Please mute your call. Note on this point, small intestine is the longest part of alimentary canal where the complete digestion of food occurs. You can see here, the complete digestion of food. The fat is digested into glycerol and fatty acid with the help of an enzyme lipase. Same as protein gets digested and converted into amino acids with the help of an enzyme protease. Same as like starch gets converted into sugars with the help of an enzyme amylase that is present in the saliva. So this is an example how the complete digestion of food occurs. Okay. Small intestine is the longest part of alimentary canal and the mostly complete digestion of food occurs in small intestine. And later, the liver. Here liver, pancreas are also helps in the digestion of food. Not only the saliva and enzymes, the liver as well as the pancreas helps in the digestion of food by secreting digestive juices and enzymes. With the help of liver and pancreas, the food also get digested. Okay. So, how the food get digested through the liver and pancreas means with the help of digestive juices and enzyme. So now let us see the role of liver in the alimentary canal. So now let us have a look the role of liver. See, liver plays an important role in the digestion of fat globules. Liver plays an important role in digestion of fat by secreting bile juice. It means liver contains bile juice. With the help of bile juice, the fats are digested in the liver. Okay. And this process is known as emulsification. Write down the definition of emulsification. Open your notebooks and start writing the definition of emulsification. Liver plays an important role in digestion of fat globules by secreting bile juice. This process is called as emulsification. Okay. And there is another important point now down. Bile juice contains no enzymes. See, in our body, as we said, we contain the digestive enzymes. But coming to the liver, it doesn't contain any enzymes. It only contains bile juice. The liver contains only bile juice, and that bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. And this process is nothing but emulsification. Okay. This is the role of liver, ma. What is the role of liver? The fats get digested in the liver with the help of bile juice. It is nothing but the process is emulsification. And the liver doesn't contain any enzymes. Okay. So now let us see the role of pancreas in the alimentary canal. Similarly, like liver, pancreas help in digestion of proteins and fats. So there may be a difference, ma. What is the role of liver and pancreas? So listen carefully. The role of pancreas and liver in our alimentary canal. Liver doesn't contain any enzymes. But coming to pancreas contains enzymes like pancreatic juice. Okay. Coming into liver, it contains bile juice, and in pancreas it contains pancreatic juice. And liver helps in digestion of fats. And coming into pancreas, it digests the proteins as well as fats by secreting pancreatic juice. Okay. But liver doesn't contain any enzymes, but pancreatic contains the enzymes like trypsin and lipase. These are the two enzymes contained in the pancreas. They are trypsin and lipase, which helps and which acts on the protein and fat digestion. These are the two enzymes present in the pancreas. They are trypsin and lipase. Okay, they help and acts on the digestion of protein and fat. So in the same way, intestinal juice is secreted by small intestine that helps in further breakdown of small protein molecules. So ma, you can see pancreas contains, as I said, trypsin and lipase. Trypsin converts or digests the proteins and lipase digests the fats. Pancreas contain pancreas juice and these contains the enzymes like trypsin and lipase. Trypsin acts on protein, lipase acts on fats. So, incomplete digestion of carbohydrate and fat in mouth is completed in small intestine and gradually makes medium alkaline. So, ma, the mostly and the complete digestion of the food takes place only in small intestine. It means the carbohydrates and the fats, everything are completely digested in small intestine. Only the partial amount of food is digested rather than the small intestine. Like 30% of food is digested in our mouth and the remaining fats and proteins are digested in liver and pancreas. And the remaining, the complete food is digested like carbohydrates and fats in the small intestine. So after digestion of food in the small intestine, absorption of digested food material into the blood occurs. Do you know after digestion where the food enters? The digestion takes place in small intestine. So after the digestion, where the food enters? Please mute your call. After digestion, the food enters into the blood. Okay? The food enters into the blood. So there are many finger-like projections arises from the wall of the intestine. See, the absorption takes place in the blood. After the food digests in the small intestine, where the food is absorbed? The food is absorbed in the blood. Okay, there are, you can see, small intestine contains villi. So there is an important point. As the surface area increases, as much as the surface area increases, the more absorption takes place. So that's why the small intestine having the large surface area than the large intestine. Do you know why the small intestine contains the large surface area? There is a reason behind it. Means in small intestine, the finger-like projections arises. The finger-like projections are nothing but villi. Okay. The finger-like projections is nothing but villi, and these villi makes the small intestine to increase the surface area for absorption. Okay. They are provided network of blood cells and lymph vessels. Mute your call. See, this is the blood cells. The absorption takes place in the blood, and from there it transports to different parts of the blood, body parts. The blood transport the absorption of food to different parts of our body, and from there we acquire the energy to do our daily works. Okay, so the remaining food material the undigested, that is the remaining food material, are moved to the large intestine where absorption of water takes place. See, mostly in small intestine the digestion of food takes place completely, and the remaining undigested food is removed from the and moved to the large intestine, and in large intestine absorption of water takes place. What is the role of large intestine? The absorption of water takes place. So finally, the unwanted material from the body is removed through anus. You can see the video here. The food is moving, the undigested food is moved through the large intestine and is thrown into the or transferred to the anus. Finally, the unwanted material from the body is removed through anus. This process is known as defecation. What is meant by defecation? The undigested food material from large intestine is removed through anus is known as defecation. Okay, this is the nutrition process, how it takes place in human beings. Okay, so once you open the textbook, there you can see the tabular form of enzymes, digestive enzymes. Page number 15. Page number 15. There you have the side heading Activity 4. In textbook page number 15, 1-5. The heading looks like Studying the Enzymes chart. So there are 8 enzymes in our textbook. See, this is the chart you can see in your textbook. There are 8 enzymes, the list of digestive enzymes and digestive juices and their functions. So this tabular form represents that the enzymes present in our body and how they are secreted by and where they are secreted into and what are the digestive juices they consist of and where they act in our body and what are the functions of these enzymes. So once you go through the digestive enzymes chart, once you read out the 8 enzymes present in the chart. Okay, in the first you can see the thiolene. Thiolene is secreted by salivary glands. They are secreted into buccal cavity. Digested juice is saliva. They act on carbohydrates and the end product is maltose. So today once you go through this tabular form, okay. So do you have any doubts on today's session? By today we have completed the nutrition in human beings. Have you understood the class? So by today we have completed today's session. So please write down the practice work of today's class. See, this is the chart regarding the alimentary canal. Alimentary canal starts from mouth and ends with anus and digestive enzymes. Okay. So write down the practice work. The finger-like projections villi for absorbing digested food material are present in. So where does this villi present in our alimentary canal? Don't post your answers in the test box. Okay, don't post the answers in the test box. Write the question. Write the question and answer to it in your workbook. Okay. The finger-like projections like villi for absorbing digested food material are present in. Options are large intestine, small intestine, stomach, all the above. Choose the correct one and answer to it. Next, where are proteins first digested in the alimentary canal? So the food from esophagus, it enters into the stomach. Okay. So where does the proteins digested firstly in the alimentary canal? Next, saliva contains an enzyme called, as I already said, saliva contains an enzyme that is responsible for the breakdown of starch into maltose and dextrose, as showed you in the video. Just analyze and write the answer to it. Saliva contains an enzyme called. Next, fats are emulsified by option A, bile juice, option B, pancreatic juice, option C, intestinal juice, option D, buccal cavity. Next, the digestive juice which has no enzymes. I already said you to note, it is an important point. The digestive juice which has no enzymes. Write down. Which juice doesn't contain the enzymes? Either bile juice or pancreatic juice. Write down the answer there. Next, the longest part of the alimentary canal is, as we discussed in today's class, what is the longest part? Don't answer. Write down your worksheets. If you are perfect to answer, write down your workbook. So, the sixth question arises. The longest part of the alimentary canal is dash. The next. What is meant by chyme? Chyme is dash. Options: partially digested food and undigested food, absorbed food, or solid food. So choose the correct answer and write down. Chyme is, what is chyme? Options are partially digested food, option B, an undigested food, option C, absorbed food, option D, semi-solid food. The next question. Most of the water present in the undigested food is absorbed in. I already just now explained where the water absorption takes place. Most of the water present in the undigested food is absorbed in dash. Riya, don't answer, ma. The next. How many pairs of salivary glands are present in man? How many pairs of salivary glands are present in man? Next, pancreatic juice contains enzymes for carrying the process of digestion of dash and dash. As I said, in liver, the fats are digested. But coming into pancreatic, what are the enzymes that makes the food to be digested? Pancreatic juice contains enzymes for carrying the process of digestion of dash and dash. Neha, we have completed already mechanism of photosynthesis, ma. Other than if you want the class, after the completion of the chapter, again I will explain to you the mechanism photosynthesis, okay? Okay, I hope you have written the practice work of today's class and answer well to the questions. So by today we have completed the biology session and tomorrow it may be the last class for the chapter nutrition, class 8. In tomorrow's class we are going to learn about the malnutrition and the types of vitamins, okay, and the diseases due to the deficiency of vitamin. And day before tomorrow you will have the grand test on this chapter, okay. So next class is chemistry class. So be ready for the chemistry class. After 10 minutes, have a break. After 10 minutes, you will have the chemistry session. So be ready with your chemistry books, ma'am. Okay? Have a break for 10 minutes. So today, once you go through the test book, page number 15, there you can see the chart of enzymes, digestive enzymes. Okay? Okay, I'm ending up the session.